boycott because biblically the Bible says that we are the Jews. If you go to Deuteronomy 28:68, the curses that will befall the Jews. The 68th verse says that I will send you back into Egypt again with ships. Egypt meaning bondage. By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more, and there you will be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. All the curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, apply to us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So he was correct. Yes, the Jews did have a big hand. They had the 95%, 99% in reference to that.
Well, I don't think he meant us in Deuteronomy. And I think that...
He wrong on the code of the Jews. Even the ex-president of Egypt, Nasser Gabal, said that there will never be peace in the Middle East because the Jews left black and came back white. We have been miseducated. Your last caller, she is correct. Because they told for us to be...
Wait a minute, you broke up. Well, you broke up. That my last caller was correct about what?
When she said that they know us, that white people know us, she's absolutely correct because they trained us. After Martin Luther King died, it was systematic racism that helped break up the black family. Because when we were separate, we were our own businesses. There was mostly all parents in the house.
You're breaking up. You need to call with a better connection because you say something that we can't hear the rest of your point. Call right back. We'll put you through. Thank you for your call. Let's go to Chris in Illinois, WVON 1690, the home of the governor, Cliff Kelly. You're keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
Reverend Al, happy Friday. Always good to hear your voice.
Good to hear yours.
Rev, I want to make a couple points. Hey, Rev, you know in any profession, you got your top level people and you got your bottom people. And people doing the police job, I'm not anti-police, Rev, I'm anti-bad police.
Right.
You got the good people, bad people, and people will lie, Rev, when they make a mistake. As you've seen in Corey Jones, where if we didn't have audio from the tow company, the officer said he announced his office and shot the man. We know that not to be true. Also, the officer in Dallas about 2 or 3 weeks ago said the kid backed up into him in an aggressive manner, and then the chief saw the video and disclaimed that because the officer was lying. He shot the kids unprovoked. And you know about the famous lynching of Quan McDonald in Chicago. All the officers on the scene lied, the supervisors, and then the guy, G.I. Joe, who killed himself because he was stealing money in Fox Lake, Illinois, and raped one of the cops under him. And then Terrence Krishner, Rev, it was a cover-up from the get-go. They let her look at the video, and one of the supervising officers told her not to talk, and they let her look at the video before she gave a statement. When did they do that for Pookie and Ray Ray when they get locked up?
That's right.
They never do that, Rev. And then one of they asked, I think one of the detectives, out of 350 cases, when have you let somebody look at the video? And it was none. And then they demonized him, Mr. Kirshner, and then the officer had a shaky past as far as with domestic violence on her ex-husband and the children, and then the FOP sending out misinformation. Oh, they saying they trying to educate the public, but y'all don't educate the public when wrongly accused people to clear it up. And the FOP has become, they defend the indefensible, Rev, and I don't have to tell you, I know you've been in the fight for a while, but something like that, we cannot keep accepting, it was plain murder, we cannot keep accepting that, and we got to come up with a better plan, with all of our...
no doubt about it, and let me say this, Chris, thank you for your call. One of the things we got to do is review what has worked, what has not worked. Just like we were involved and Terrence Crutcher. And I said from the beginning, we've got to get these special prosecutors. And now the juries even say the prosecutor was bad. We're involved in Corey Jones. I spoke at his funeral. And we were successful there in terms of that prosecution. Got a plea on the Walter Scott case where Reverend Nelson and others are named. So what works, what doesn't work? And I think that we have got to, I think too many times, Chris, and I thank you for your call, I think too many times we go for the quick answer. And rather than saying, well, wait a minute, why is this going? Why is that not going? Or we just go into despair, ain't nothing going to work, and give up, which is what they want you to do. And then, or want you to implode or explode so that they can go and justify even more of a retaliatory and repressive regime on our people. You have a regime in Washington now that wants us to either get desperate or to give up in despair, because they will not care. I told some of our young people at our convention, National Action Network, if we have uprisings now, they will be ready for that. That's what they want. They will use that to tighten up more police laws, and they will, you think we saw tanks in Ferguson, they'll roll them all in. Because Trump and Pence have said law and order. So we've got to really soberly deal with it if we want to help and if we want to sustain our people. Now, if we don't care, we can throw a tantrum and play right into their hands. What they did in Tulsa should tell us that unless we are real serious, they will use every angle they can when they can acquit this man, this woman, for shooting a man with his hands up on tape. But then why didn't it work with Corey Jones in Florida just a couple of months ago? Why didn't it work where this man had to plead guilty with Walter Scott? That's why we got to deal with how these prosecutions are done. Let's take a break. Keeping it real. Sharpton right after this.